hope you're doing so lovely today. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for being so patient with me. I'm so sorry that it took me so long to get to you. I know that you've been saying it's okay, that you understand. Like, I really do appreciate it more than words can explain. I'm so grateful for your patience. I do want to let you know that the messages that I've been getting have just been coming through like crazy. As I've been recovering, I've just been thinking about your reading and your energy non-stop, and it's been like everything's been coming to me in like these spurts of like really strong hits of information, and I'm like trying to process it all, and I'm like, is this just my sick brain? Is this like me going crazy? Like, the way that it was coming through, it didn't seem like all the things that were coming through were connected. I figured if I just started recording, everything would start to make sense the more I talked about it. And I started to draw out your aura, and yeah, things are starting to make sense. I just had to like get it down. And so like I can show you like the notes that I took. There's like a whole page on my phone, like on my notes app. It's just filled with what seems like a bunch of nonsense. But later on, I ended up putting those pieces together, and I got somewhere, I think. So we're gonna work through it together. I'm so excited. I have been so excited to talk about your energy and your aura because, oh my God, it's so intriguing. There are a ton of messages that came through, and I'm so excited to get into it. I love your energy, and I'm blown away by your energy, honestly. And I think that I was picking up a bunch of different energies around you also, because you said that you can see energy, and so I was seeing it from like a third party, like almost like me seeing you seeing someone else's energy. Does that make sense? And so it was like just energy after energy, like a wave of energy just combined into one thing at one point. So we're just going to talk through it, and like I'm going to show you what came through. I'm going to show you the notes. I'm going to read you all this stuff. Even if it doesn't make sense at first, I'm just going to let you know what came through, and we'll go from there. And of course, at the end, we're going to do something extra fun where I give you a mythical identity title, and we'll see what that mythical identity looks like in the real world by putting it into an AI image generator. And I'm just so excited. I cannot tell you how excited I am. So with all that being said, let's just jump right into it. Alrighty, so the base colors that I was seeing in your aura were all very spiritual colors. There was a dark purple, and then like an indigo color, canary yellow, lime green, and a really pretty pink. And these all felt very spiritual to me. They just didn't feel physical, like almost like thermal energy. And it was very, very interesting with your aura, because I feel like you interpret energy with different senses. So something that was coming through very prominently right away was the fact that certain energies, if they are off-putting to you, I was getting a sense that like they came through as almost scratchy, like Velcro. And I was also getting this sense that the way that you see people, like you have a very close connection to textures and also brands of clothing. So like I was seeing these different colors and different shades of brands like Louis Vuitton and Coach and Gucci. And I feel like there's certain brands that just like hold a certain weight to you, and they mean a certain thing. And so the way that you associate people is kind of with brands. And I was seeing like these floral patterns, almost like you see on a rug when there's like those really intricate designs. It was like that kind of. And I feel like you can place memories to people, but in a sense of like, what were you feeling in your body, and what were you touching? Like, what senses of yours were active when you last interacted with this person? So if it was somebody from your childhood, you might associate them with a feeling of a rug that you always had, and that you just remember like the back of your hand. Like you used to trace the patterns with your fingers on the rug. And if you had good memories with this person, then maybe you would remember that feeling of the rug. And then whenever you think of this person again in the future, like it brings back good memories, because you feel it with your fingertips, and you can see their energy and feel that at the same time. I hope that makes sense. Another thing that you'll notice that I'm doing here, it was really interesting because what I normally tend to stick to is an aura that is separated by parts, and so it's pretty symmetrical. But with yours, I just felt the need to kind of go crazy with it. You'll notice that I did see a crow, and I also saw a dolphin.
which dolphins could be very, very significant. There was a picture that you sent me that sparked like this memory of a picture that I had that looked very similar, and it has to do with dolphins. And I don't know what it was about this picture. Like, I swear I thought I had this exact same picture saved in my phone, but, and like, I went searching for probably a good hour in all of my photos, everywhere that I had photos, trying to find this picture that I thought was, you know, identical to the one that you sent me. But I think the one that I was thinking of, and at least this is like the closest one that I could find to it, was this one where a cloud is shaped like a dolphin. And it blew my mind, because when I saw your picture, I was like, I have that picture. I have that exact same picture. Like, it was such a crazy deja vu moment for me. But either way, like, both pictures are so beautiful. And I just think that clouds are another huge symbol for you. Like, when you are able to look up in the sky and see the clouds and see shapes. Personally, I have this too, so I understand, and I totally feel like this is something that your angels use to connect with you and to talk with you and send you signs and symbols and synchronicities and just let you know that they're there. And it's gotten to a point, and I would love to see if this works for you too, but I've actually created a game. Oh my gosh, I might cry right now. Sorry. But sorry. I know when my dad is talking to me in the clouds. And so whenever I notice that there are very clear, prominent shapes up in the sky, I'll say it out loud what I see. So if it's like a boat, I'll say a boat. And then that cloud will start to shift into something else. And then I'll say what it is next, and then we'll just keep going. And it's really sweet. I'm sorry. But I do think that clouds are very symbolic for you, and I do think that that is a very good way to get in touch with your angels and to look for signs and look for guidance. There are messages in the clouds for you, messages in the skies. Oh my gosh, there was so much coming through about looking towards light. Light in general. This was actually crazy. I had a bunch of names coming through. Right before all these names were coming through, I was hearing just flashes, like camera flashes, and I was seeing flashes, and I was hearing in my mind, like, you would get flashes of information, and at first maybe like you weren't sure of where that flash was coming from. And this reminded me of something that I personally do experience, where I know that angels are around me whenever the light is just like too bright for no reason. Like, have you ever walked out on a very snowy day and you try to like block the sun, but because it's reflecting off the snow, it's just bright everywhere, so you can't really like hold your hand in front of you anywhere. It's so bright. If you ever experience that when there's not snow and you're just looking, like, personally for me it happens when I'm trying to look at a bird and I can't really pinpoint what kind of bird it is, but I can't look directly at it. It's just so bright and it's blinding and it hurts, and I can't look at the bird directly, and it's frustrating for me because I want to see the bird. But over time I've realized that is more than likely happening because that's not just any bird. Like, that's one of my spirit guides. That's an angel. And so you definitely have this connection to light, and I think that energy comes through to you in forms of light and clouds and thermal energy and all these different, like, non-physical forms of energy. It's really cool. And now something that you'll notice that I'm doing here is I was getting such a clear picture, and this is so amazing the way that this came through. Suddenly this shape that I was creating was shaped like an MRI or like a brain scan, and it looked like all of the energy that you receive was like being downloaded straight into your brain. It was like an X-ray of your mind, and you're just receiving like all of the information and all of the energy from people around you and from your angels and your spirit guides and the universe. It was like all combining into one and just being like a water droplet into your mind. It was beautiful. Like, I'm sure after what you've experienced, you've seen plenty of MRI scans. I wonder if it like would show up. I wonder, okay, I don't know if you've had like thermal scans or anything done, but like I would love to see the comparison between like your brain scan and a normal person's brain scan. Okay, Diane, you are not going to believe what I just found out. So I was looking up MRI spiritual experience to see like if there was anything that could come through on MRIs that show a link to spirituality. And I found out that the spiritual part of the brain is called the parietal cortex, and it is arguably the most frequently implicated brain region linked to spirituality. So I looked up that part of the brain. It is literally right where I drew all of the energy going straight into your brain MRI. And it says that the parietal cortex is a region of the brain that plays a key role in spatial processing and attention. And its function involves sensation, processes sensations from the sense of touch, including temperature, pressure, vibration, and pain. Wait a second, because I looked up the parietal cortex. I think I'm saying that right. I hope I'm saying that right. I looked it up, and not only was it pointing directly towards the spot that I'm highlighting, it lists all of the different lobes and the different sections of the brain. Notice the colors that it's using to label each lobe. You got the frontal lobe, purple. You got the parietal lobe, indigo, temporal lobe, green, occipital lobe, yellow, and then the brainstem is pink. Can we go back? Can we rewind? We got purple, we got indigo, we got yellow, we got green, and we got pink. Can we take a moment to just sit in shock and awe that this is happening this way? This is like exactly what I was trying to explain, how the way that energy comes through for you, it's seen using all of your senses. It's felt, it's smelled, it's like it's using every part of your brain in a different way and associating those feelings with different memories and places and textures. This is actually insane. So it is vital for sensory perception and integration, sight, taste, hearing, smell, and touch. Yes, some important functions of the parietal lobe: cognition, speech, and writing. Wow. This is blowing my mind. Blowing my mind. Like, not only is that the most spiritual part, that is where you're getting your downloads from. That is where you're receiving energy. That's where you're sensing energy, and you're able to translate it within yourself and make sense of it and see it out in the real world. You're able to recognize energy and then feel it and sense it at that lobe, and then process it and then visualize it out in the real world. But it's not just visualizing. You are now able to like experience it in your body however it wants to come through, whatever sense it needs to express itself with. Does that make sense? This is very cool. I knew that it would start making sense as I like talked about it more and actually just kind of did it. This is very interesting. I love the science behind this. I love all of this. I knew it was going to be cool, but wow. So knowing what I know now, I did go ahead and start with a clean slate, and I just wanted to see how those colors kind of meshed together now that I know it's a very neurological and spiritual color combination. So I was playing around with those colors, but also I do want to go back to something I mentioned earlier, which was that a ton of names came through. This is where it gets kind of crazy. Also, there were a lot of books coming through, like Stephen King came through, the author, obviously, then like Twilight, just fairy tales in general, Neverending Story came through. Let me see. Oh, and Hunger Games. Specifically, though, I wasn't hearing the Hunger Games. I was hearing Primrose, which is, I believe, the little sister of Katniss Everdeen, Primrose Everdeen. I was hearing Primrose. So if that name means anything to you, I just know that name from Hunger Games. All the names that were coming through, and they were very specific. They were like first and last names. So Sarah King, and that kind of stemmed from Stephen King. But Sarah, that name was really prominent, it seemed like. And then there was Bridget Larimer, or Larimore, Christian Matthews, and then the name Libby, the name Cassidy, and then this is where it gets crazy. The full name, Samantha Elaine Rochester. I don't know anybody with this name, but it was so specific that I went ahead and looked it up. I got crazy. I went into crazy mode. and I did some deep diving. If anyone out there is watching this named Samantha Elaine Rochester, this is a warning. I'm just kidding. Totally forgot that Rochester was even a place in New York. So the name Samantha and New York could be very significant to you, and just Elaine also seems like a very significant middle name. Oh, but I did an even deeper dive, so I looked up the meaning of the name Samantha. The name Samantha's origins are uncertain, but it may have also been influenced by the Greek word anthos, which means flower. It also means heard by God. And then I looked up Elaine. Elaine is a French version of the Greek name Helen, which is thought to mean ray or sunbeam. Elaine can be traced back to the Greek word helios, which means light. So now we have flower and sunbeam. And you also sent me a photo of you standing in a sunflower field, and I was telling you how much light has to do with the energy that you sense. And then what's even crazier is that by the end of your aura, I ended up with this beautiful, like, sunflower pattern. It was totally unintentional. I love that it's not completely symmetrical. I love that all of the colors blend so perfectly, and I love the spiritual aesthetic of it. There's something about, like, the cross in the middle that, like, it, especially knowing now that the name Samantha meaning heard by God, and knowing that your angels show themselves to you through visions and flashes of light and, like, blinding light. The message that is coming through, like, so strong is, like, always find the light. You know how sunflowers will grow towards the light and grow towards the sun? Always be that way. Always look towards the light, grow towards the sun, grow towards positivity, grow towards what lights you up. And you will find so much luck there. You will find tranquility and happiness and all of everything that you're searching for, as long as you are following the lights, like, guided by your angels. It's such a beautiful, beautiful message. Oh my gosh, I can't get over it. And it was so crazy, like, how much was coming through that I just didn't understand. But then by the end of it, I was like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. This is insane. Like, this is so beautiful. I love when things come through like that. And you know what? I just remembered that I wrote this down specifically. All those books that were coming through, that was a sign that you are being called to write an autobiography on your visions, what you see and how your life was changed. You told me that when you experienced that accident, your life was changed forever. And you can really tap into that energy. And that sentence alone, that holds a lot of weight. And you get to decide how it changed your life forever. Was it for the better? And what have you learned from it? I would love to read about that. Are you kidding me? I feel like you are being truly called to bring light to your situation and share your voice and share your story.
Also, something that I noticed, looking at your aura now, the cross that's in the middle almost looks like it's an X, like a target. And I don't want that to scare you, because, like, to me, it is still spiritual, like, just the fact that I thought that it was a cross. It's like a target for your guides to plant the information. And I just realized plant and seed, and, like, you are the sunflower. And I also want to remind you that one of the important functions of the parietal lobe is writing. And so with it being a target for your guides, I think that they want to write through you. They want to speak through you, through your experience. Like, you've gained a whole new realm of knowledge, and they want to work through you. They want to express everything that needs to be expressed via writing. And they want to use that gateway that is your mind to do so. And I think that would be so cool. On the left here, it looks like there's a moth, and it's almost like it's being drawn towards a flame. I don't know if you can hear everything shaking around me. The wind is absolutely insane today. But then on the right, I totally thought of, like, the praying mantis pictures that you sent me. So if you have a praying mantis spirit guide, he's definitely coming through here. And I think that's so adorable. And there's no need to talk about how bad that drawing was. I'm aware. I did my best. Now that we've decoded that and made sense of it, and you've seen your finished aura, we are going to go ahead and figure out what your mythical identity would be, and then we're going to see what that mythical identity would look like here in the real world when we put it into an AI image generator. Alrighty, so let's get started with the first spin. Ooh, Seeker. Amazing. I love it already. Okay, Seeker of... Spin this one twice.
Oh, oh my gosh. Seeker of hope. And you know what's funny is that Chucho got hope too. So very interesting. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Ooh. Ooh, Seeker of Secrets? What? Ooh, I love that. That is so cool. Hold on, I have to like sit with this for a second. Why am I immediately drawn to Lord of the Rings, where I think it's Frodo says, "Alrighty, then keep your secrets." That's funny. You have a lot of like fairy tale energy and sci-fi, happily ever after kind of love story. I adore this energy. It's so magical and very ethereal, but very present on Earth. It's very cool. I love the balance of it, but it's very happy. And considering like everything that you've been through, it's so refreshing to see that you are as happy as you are. Like in every picture that you sent me, your smile is so bright. Like you have this radiant energy that it's contagious. Like I love your energy, and oh my god, you just light up a room. It really is so beautiful. You're an inspiration. You are such a good person. You are meant to be a guide for others here on this planet in this lifetime, and I'm so glad that you're okay and that you're here with us today, and I'm just so glad to have met you, and I'm so glad that I could have done this for you, because you are truly such an inspiration to me and to so many people, and I just cannot express how grateful I am to have met you. I really love your energy. I'm so excited to see how this mythical identity is going to turn out. This is Seeker of Hope and Secrets. I love her. I'm absolutely obsessed. And you know what is crazy? I just said how hope also came through in Chucho's reading. You guys have some significance in each other's lives. I know that you know each other on a personal level, and I don't know what that personal level is, but it's on a soul level deep. Like, oh my god, you guys are from the same galaxy, the same starseed committee. Oh my god, you guys are literally guardians of the galaxies. Multiple galaxies. It's insane, because you can tell just from the pillars behind her in this image. It immediately reminded me of Chucho's reading when I saw the church and I saw the screens and the windows with galaxies in every one of them. That same energy is here. Oh my god, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. So, Diane, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I had so much fun doing it. I really do love your energy so much, and I just cannot thank you enough for reaching out. I'm so glad I got to do this for you, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on it. It was really cool. It was really fun for me to do. And I'll go ahead and send this over to you now, and just thank you so much again for reaching out. I can't wait to hear your thoughts, Diane. I hope you have a lovely, blessed new year and a week as beautiful as you. Take care. Bye.